Hello friends, good afternoon all of you, and let's start today. I think in previous class we people have done with unit number 3 and what are the things that we people can do about interview, personal interview we people have done. But I think that whatever we people have done as far as that personal interview is concerned is not sufficient. You people need to find out more. You people need to learn more because whatever we people have done, it is only just for your information. And based on these only, you people cannot face interviews. So I will recommend here that you people should start preparing for interviews. So let's say that what you people can do, how you can do. Also try to understand that more skills and more, let's say, the trainings and other activities that you people need to participate in so that it will be convenient for you to face the interviews, because this is one of the crucial roles or the stages that you people have to go through, because interview is the only gateway through which you people can just achieve your career goals. And if you're not doing anything, let's say, effective in your interview, and possibility might be that you're going to get rejection after rejection. And to avoid this in the future, you people just try to work on it and just take help of the Google and YouTube, because these are the only two great sources which are useful these days. I hope that we people have spent almost 4, 5, 6 lectures, whatever we have spent. mm, that will give you just an idea about interview, but real learning you people need to do on your own. For that, you people have to be self-learner. So keep working on your interview techniques. And at any time, if you find that you're not able to understand anything or there is difficulty regarding any of the maybe let's say question content or anything, that time you people try to consult with me. I will just try to help you in that case. Okay, so with this today we people are going to begin with unit number 4, and unit number 4 is writing practices second. Okay, so why it is writing practices second? Because earlier it was writing practices first, and in semester first all you people have done with writing practices first, like I think that business letters we people have discussed, inquiry letter, order letter, complaint letter, etc. Then we people have also seen email writing as well, that how to write an effective email. And also we people have seen paragraph writing and essay writing. So these were the points that we people have covered in semester first, and that was about let's say uh, writing practices first. So in this semester and in this unit number 4, we people are going to see writing practices second. And this writing practices second will deal with again for different aspects of your professional writing. And that will just consist of first of all we people see resume writing, then we people are going to learn about report writing and precise writing. So these are the 3 points that we people will cover in this unit number 4. So first of all, let me know, is it audible to you? Are you getting my voice clearly?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
You just stay connected, we people will start. Okay, fine. So all we people are going to try to understand first of all this resume writing. Okay. So what is this resume writing? So it is going to be just I will call it a kind of uh, a piece of paper in simple words that will just help you to present yourself. In short, you're going to present yourself. But before going to that resume writing, you people will try to understand that what we people can think of written communication. Okay, so many of the times we people have seen that whenever we people think, or maybe in previous classes, I have just explained you that how we people can just work on improving our oral communication only. Okay, so improving oral communication is not the only way that you people have to work on. Oral communication is important, there is no question. Okay, so if you think of communication, so this communication is of two types. That is, one is oral communication and another is written communication. So if you want to become professional, you cannot just say that I will just only focus on oral communication and I may neglect written communication. You cannot just say that I may just only work on written communication and I may neglect oral communication. So it may not be possible. So therefore, it is necessary that all you people have to think whenever we think of communication. So communication can be of this oral communication and written communication. Both forms of communication are used at your workplace. When I was just talking about for previous 2 units for group discussion and for interview, you people have to work or just try to improve your oral communication because that is very much needed, and accordingly all you people have to just work on that as well. But as far as there are other formats of organization or workplace that you people have to use. So in written communication, you people, first of all, you need to prepare for your resumes. Then apart from that, you people are expected to write job application letter. Apart from that, you people are expected to write down business letters. Apart from that, you people are expected to write down emails. Apart from that, reports. Anything that you would like to suggest, what we are expected to write? At least formal written communication, you people are expected to write down those things in your uh, career. So therefore, written communication is also very important. And apart from that, paragraph writing or essay writing, that will be part of your just getting selection, or maybe part of student only. You people are going to write down essays or paragraphs. Afterwards, you people are not going to write that much. So therefore, all you people just try to uh, also focus on your written communication. And if you wanted to improve your written communication, which things are important, you should have a command or language. I will call it. Command means what? That you should know language very well. As far as in written communication, you people are going to use which language? It is English language. So you should have command over English language. Then apart from that, you should have good collection of vocabulary. If you have plenty of vocabulary, then you people can able to use different words and you can express your thoughts and ideas. And if you have short of words or few words, you are not able to express in a better way. Apart from that, you need to have good knowledge of grammar. So you should know grammar better, then only you people will be able to write well. Apart from that, you people have to use punctuation marks. That you people have to just care, because whatever you're writing, and if you're not using punctuation marks, that's meaning will not be correct meaning. So just take care that you people are going to work on those things, and you people are going to just have all those points in your writing skills. So why I'm telling, because we people are going to just start writing skills, and out of that if you think, you just imagine your career. So right now people are in first year. So when you people complete your second year, third year, so during those 2 years, you people are not expected to write anything professionally. Okay, whatever you are going to write, it will be exams, notes, or just assignments, journals, practicals, etc. So for that, how you people write usually? All you people just copy down. If you are taking notes from somewhere and you are just copying it down, so there is no any brain applied. So therefore, that writing is not writing at all. When you completed your third year, that time you people are maybe professionally looking for a job, and when you wanted to get a job, so that time it is very important that your written skill matters. So that time your resume and job application letter comes into picture. So up to now you people are not thinking about it, not learning how to prepare resume. You are not just thinking about how to write job application letter, and suddenly it is the need that you people need to use job application letter and resume, and then it becomes very difficult that we don't know that how to write resume, how to write job application letter. And in such cases, what we people try to do, we people just try to copy our friends resumes and job application letters, and we just try to write it down. Whatever they're writing, we are just trying to uh, copy it. So better that you people just learn. And this resume writing is one of the core skills which you should have, because whatever you people are just uh, mentioning in your resume, that is going to reflect your personality. And if your resume is effective, it will set a positive tone for interview. And let's say your resume is not good, if it is not effective, and apparently not looking good and shabby, and so many mistakes of spelling, or let's say structure is not proper, in that case you can imagine how your interview will be. Because it is the resume which reaches before you. So when your interview is there, so your resume reaches first. Before you, your resume reaches to the interviewer, and then you reaches to the interviewer. So your resume is doing a very great work of setting, or just he's going to create a positive impression for you or for your interview. So therefore, you just, all the people think how you can start working on your resumes as well. And the people can see it says that open the door to opportunity. So why does it call open the door to opportunity? Because whatever the interviews, any job, or whatever you people are going to have as a career, so if you have resume, then only you people will be able to face interviews. And if you don't have any resume, in that case you people are not going to face interviews. Because if you present your resume, if you submit your resume, the process that you should try to understand. First of all, you are just submitting your resume. First of all, try to understand. You are uploading your resume, you are submitting your resumes, and when you upload or submit your resumes, then those resumes get shortlisted, or screening is there. So what is screening or shortlisting? So out of those which resumes are, let's say, good resumes, or they just seems that you are eligible, or whatever information you have mentioned in your resume, based on they decide whether to select your resume or whether to reject your resume. And imagine that if you have not mentioned or updated your resume, possibility is that your resume itself is going to get rejected. So there is no any chance of facing interview. If your resume is not shortlisted, or if it is not screened, then you will not be called for interview. If your resume is there and if it is effective, it will be shortlisted and you will be called for interview. So whether to face interview or not to face interview, it is depending upon your resume. So therefore it is saying that open the door to opportunity. So whatever the opportunities you people are going to have, that opportunity door will be open because of your resume. So you can consider it a key which is going to open your career, something like this. So with this, we people will just try to understand there is a lot of things that you people need to consider when you are just considering resumes. So let's try to continue. So first of all, we people will try to understand that what is this resume. So it says resume is summary of your educational qualification details. What is it? So whatever the education qualification you have completed. Since let's try to understand that when you people completed your HSC, SSC, you'll consider SSC, not less than this. Then you might have completed your HSC, or there are some students who might have completed their diploma. Okay, then you people can mention about your graduation. So here graduation will consider it your BTech, something like this. And there are some students who might have completed their post graduation also. Okay, so MTech, we'll consider it MTech. And apart from that, if any additional qualification you have, you can just add it. So this is your educational qualification details people have to mention. So there is, in fact, you people need to mention from which year and with how much percentage people have completed your HSC, which were the board, or you people can add a tabular form. So you can make a table like this. Where you're just making some columns like this, and in that column you are just adding a serial number, then qualification, then board or university, then the year in which you pass, and at the end a grade or marks obtained, something like that you are just mentioning, and you are just giving it. So this is, it should have, your resume should have this education qualification details as well. Then it highlights your skills and experience relevant to the field. So let's try to understand. So when you are going to prepare your resume, so what are the skills you people have achieved? So which skills you are going to achieve? Right now, you people might be in your first year. So when you people go to second year, there are going to certain skills. So what kind of skills you people can think of? You can think of skills like, let's say, maybe coding skills, languages like C, C++, Java, Python, or maybe as a particular department, you might have your own technical skills. So what are the technical skills you people are going to have that you people just try to understand through this? So mention your skills, highlight your skills. Then experience also, as far as experience is concerned, you people are just freshers. Okay. So as a fresher, do you have any experience? You don't have any experience. But in that case, what you people can add? You people can add any training, any, let's say, certificate course that you people have done, that you people can add, because you people are just freshers. Is it audible? It is saying your internet connection is unstable. Is it audible to you?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, all right, fine. So you don't have any experience, you're fresher, but you can mention trainings throughout the your second year, third year, you're attending so many sessions and trainings. So you try to add it in your resumes. There are many students who are not taking trainings seriously. They are just taking it very casually. And so they are not able to add that trainings into their resume. So people can just think whatever training you people are going to add, how you can update it in your resumes. Experience relevant to the field. So which field? For the post in which you are going to apply that field. Okay. Then again, resume, it highlights your objective and accomplishments. So what is your objective? So your objective is something like that, why you want to start, or why do you want to get this job? कुठलाही जॉब असेल तर जॉब का करायचा आहे. So there is a particular objective, that is you can call career objective. So what is your career objective? You people need to mention in your resume what is your career objective. So it highlights your career objective. And another thing is your accomplishments. So what are accomplishments? Accomplishments are something like this, that you people might have received some awards, rewards, some certificates, extracurricular activities, co-curricular activities. Those will be your accomplishments. So you people need to mention some awards, rewards, and ranks that you people have achieved throughout those 4 years. So It highlights your objectives and accomplishments. Are you getting any external noise, background noise?
Yes, sir.
There is a, okay, pay attention. Okay, you don't pay attention to that. Its purpose is to get you an interview call. So when you just upload your resume or you just submit your resume, its purpose is to get you an interview call. So I have already told you that when you just submit your resume, so based on your resume is getting scrutinized, or there is called screening. So in that screening, your resume will decide whether you will get an interview call or you may not get. So if your resume is not up to date, if you have not worked on your resume, I'm sure that you're not going to get any interview call, or you'll not be called for interview. So there is no any further progress of this placement. So therefore, you just start working on your resume. And if you're just making it effective, I'm sure that people will be called for interview and you get an opportunity to face the interview. Then a resume should reflect more than just a work experience. Okay. So it should not be just about only whatever you people have just worked. This is for experienced people, because you people are not having any experience. So you people are just freshers. So apart from that, your education qualifications, skills, and accomplishments, objectives, so people need to add other points also. So whatever you information you people can add about you people can add, which will show your talent, skills, and how you are the right person or candidate for this particular post. That will be seen through your resume. It should consider your extracurricular and leadership qualities. So already I have told you that whatever the activities that you people are going to add, that will include that extracurricular activities and co-curricular activities. Apart from that, any event that you people have attended, where you people were having not attended, but you organized or you coordinated, where you people were having a responsibility, and out of that your leadership qualities can be seen. So try to understand that when you are at departmental level, when you go to second year, third year, if any event is there in your department, always come ahead. Don't just try to avoid, or don't run away from such events. Try to take some responsibility, try to work for it, and try to get experience at least, so that it will show that you people have leadership qualities. So try to focus, try to highlight your leadership qualities also through your resume and through working on it. Then we people will go to the next slide, and on next slide you people will get these things that it says you people are different types of resumes are there, and those resumes can be like this: occupational resumes. So what is this occupational resumes? Occupational resumes are particularly for particular occupation. Let's say accountant, let's say a chef, let's say a lawyer or CA, or for different occupations, different business. For that particular, these resumes are there. So you people can think of that. Then chronological resumes. So chronological resumes also just give details about any particular, from your personal details to other, with a flow, with a sequence. Then functional resumes. So all you people will prepare for this functional resumes. Then combination resumes. So combination resumes will be combination of these all remaining three. Then curriculum vitae, or in short you people may call it CVs. So curriculum vitae will be just when you people are just mentioning all your course of life. I'll call it course of life means when you people are having a lot of experience, let's say 15 or 15 plus years confidence experience you people are having, and that time you people are working on lots of responsible posts, and that time it can be your CV. But right now as a student you people are going to have a resumes only. And then online resumes. So online resumes means what? These days what happens that you people need to keep a soft copy of your resume ready, and you can upload on different platforms your resumes, and there also your resumes gets scrutinized, and then you people may get a call of interview. So that these are called online resumes. Online resumes means that you people need to keep your copy of soft copy of your resume. So that is what you people have to understand from these types. Then we people will go to the next slide. So here you'll come to know that occupational resumes in occupational, it can just be business analyst resume. So if you want to work as a business analyst, so business analyst can be a post for that if people would like to work. So it can be a business analyst resume. So if you know the for which post you are going to apply, that you should know. If you know, then accordingly you can plan your resume. Same resume cannot be applicable for all types of job. So based on your post, which post you people are going to apply, you people have to prepare your resume. So what resume you people have prepared today may not be useful for all the time. From time to time, you need to update it. Okay. So every time think that what you people can add in your resume and try to updating it. Every any training, any certificate, any course that you have done, immediately try to update it in your resume. So that is important. So if it is business analyst, that will be different resume. Then it can be insurance manager. For insurance manager you will have different resumes. So this is a kind of occupation, because insurance manager is a different occupation. Then sales agricultural, that is another post, that for that you people have another resume. Then bank manager, different occupation. And sales retail. So these are, what are these are different occupations, and for these occupations you may have different resumes as well. Then again you people can have this commodity specialist resume. Commodity specialist, the people who are working on commodity, tax accountant, general laborer, then elementary teacher. So based on purpose, all you people need to think of the post for which you people are going to apply. So that post is very important for you, and you just try to think of that post and accordingly think that for that particular post, which skills you people are going to be needed. So your skills are going to matter here, and those skills and those things you people need to add in your resume. Okay. Then next type, it was chronological resume. Key components of chronological resumes are identification. So you people need to be just very clear about who are you and your address and everything that you have mentioned. That all you people need to mention in that. So identification is important. Then next, job objective. Job objective, and call it career objective, why you want to work. So this is also very important that you people need to consider it. Then next is key accomplishments, whatever you people have achieved so far, that is important. The next is education, that is educational qualification that people are going to add. In professional experiences, I would like to tell you that you people are not having any professional experience, you people are freshers. The next is affiliations and interests. So what is this affiliations and interests? Affiliations indicates that in which organizations or companies you were associated with. Earlier, you have worked with which of the companies. So if you worked with, let's say earlier 2 to 3 companies previously, you people try to give the list of those previous companies, and interest, you try to give your interest in which area you would like to work, like production, sales, or maintenance, service, quality. So these are different kinds of units in an organization. So you try to mention where you would like to work, into design or into production or into different ways. Okay. You need to add references as well. So references include that if in case you have worked in different organizations or companies, so there could be some CEOs, MDs, or managers. You can give their references, or other references you people can give with whom you have worked earlier, or as a student you people can give reference of your principal, so that if they wanted to check how as a person you are, in that case you people can be inquired about. So suppose that you are just candidate, you don't have any experience, and you are going to get selected into one particular company. So for that, they wanted to inquire what kind of candidate you are. So in that case, what they will do, if you have provided the details of principal, they will contact the principal and they will ask you about this XYZ candidate and whether he was student in this particular college, how is his character, how is their behavior, that they will try to understand. So that kind of preferences will be useful, that you people need to mention them in your resumes. Then next we people will go for functional resumes. So in functional resumes, you people have to understand that what you people need to include in these functional resumes. Very important that personal details like name and address you people have to add. Then objective describing position you seek. So these kind of functional resumes are for we people. Okay. Like as a fresher or as a for any kind of job you people are looking, that kind of resume will be functional resume, because you people need to add your name, you people need to add your address, you people need to give your career objective in your resumes. Then profile giving summary of your talents and experience. Again, here, whatever the skills, talents you people have, then you people have to mention it. Experience every time when they're asking for experience, but you people are fresher. You people do not consider this experience right now. When you get experience of 1 year, 2 year, in that case, you people can think of this. Then experience listing your position, employer, and dates. So when you are adding experience, that time you have to consider on which post you people have worked. Let's say you people have worked as a manager. So in which organization, let's say you have worked in a company named XYZ. Okay. So how long you people have worked, you need to give dates or details, or a particular, uh, let's say span of, let's say from 2001 to 2005. So something like that. So depending upon, you can add dates exactly. If it is not, you can mention year, you can add months also. You can add here month May to June 2005, something like this. So people can add. Then you need to add education details, training undergone, and lastly, awards and recognitions received. As a person, as a candidate, you might have would be in, let's say, competitions, poster presentation, or let's say you people are good in speech competition, essay writing, or there are different kinds of competitions of coding, hacking, and something like this. So if you have taken part in such competitions and have received any recognition, any award, you people try to add it in these kind of resumes. So these are different types. I think that we need not to go detail into types. At the end, we people will see what we people can do as far as our resume is concerned. And at the end, we people will think of one particular format that we people can just work on. Then next is combination. This combination will be whatever we people have discussed, chronological or occupational, all those resumes will be just combined together, and that makes this combination resume, and that is called hybrid resume, balances the functional and chronological approaches. So here you are just, when you are just getting different experiences, that time you can think of these different resumes. So it starts with skills, accomplishments, qualifications of the job applicant, On second page is reverse chronological ordering of your work experience. This format allows the reader to first match your qualification against job opening. It showcases your work experiences in the most marketable fashion, and it highlights your both job skills and accomplishments. So this is a combination. So you can add everything, your skills, your experiences, your accomplishments, your career goals, and everything that you people experience and everything that you are mentioning. That will be the combination of that earlier two types. Then we'll go to the next slide. And on next slide, we people will think of this layout of combination resume. First of all, you people are going to add your name and contact information. For all kind of resumes, you people have to begin with your name, okay? Because when they wanted to contact with you, so that time their name and contact information is very important. So therefore, you people provide your name. In fact, on the as a below the title of resume, you people add your name in a little bit bigger font size. Below that, mention contact information. In contact, mention mobile number, okay, and also email ID. Mobile number should be working, email ID should be working. If you have two mobile contact numbers, add both of them. Emails also, if people can add to. And apart from that, if you have other profiles like LinkedIn profile, if you have created, then you can just add that LinkedIn profile as well, because they can contact you at LinkedIn also. So today's all you people can just create the profile on LinkedIn. So I would like to tell you, how many of you are there on LinkedIn? Is anyone who is there on LinkedIn? If you are there on LinkedIn, then raise your hand. If not, today you go and create a profile on LinkedIn. Aditya is there. Okay, Aditya. Fine. You just keep it updated. Try to follow. Yes, Shubham is also there. I think that in previous session people have discussed about. I don't know in which class, but we have discussed it. So create your profile on LinkedIn, because LinkedIn is a kind of social networking for jobs and professions. So you people just can be in touch with top recruiters, top organizers, consultancies, and companies will be there which are hiring directly. So you need not to go through anyone else, but on LinkedIn you can just mention all your skills. You can just keep a copy of your resume on LinkedIn, and I'm sure that you can get number of calls of interview from LinkedIn as well. Okay, so you people create profile on LinkedIn and keep it updated instead of just having profile on Instagram, Facebook, or this Twitter. These are just social networking site, but this is again a social networking site, but it is kind of business or profession. So all you people can take note of this LinkedIn and work on it. Then next we people will talk about, and this will be again like this education. So what you people are going to add afterwards. So it is going to be education. You people need to mention the same, that what you people have completed from which year and with how much percentage. Honors certificates, anything that you people have achieved, maybe from which branch you people have completed graduation and any certificate courses. Licenses held, you don't hold any license or patent or any kind of research. If you've done, in that case you can add it. Right now it is not necessary. Careers, skills that you people try to add. Then knowledge, what you knowledge of a particular topic or subject that you people can add. Let's say about Python or languages, or let's say coding, or let's say different kinds of field are there which are related to your field. You try to mention those things which are about knowledge. Career achievements, this is for experienced people. You people don't have any experience, so you don't have any career achievements so far. Work experience is also same. You people are all freshers, so you people can just think that what you people can do for just making your resumes better. So if you just have done with this kind of layout, we people will think of next what curriculum vitae is, that we people will try to understand. That is, in short, all you people call it CV. Many times you will get this word CV. So CV stands for curriculum vitae. And what is meaning of that curriculum vitae? This is again your all achievements, your education qualification, your experiences, and the responsible posts and positions that you have held. All these things will be in curriculum vitae. So as a student, you people are going to have resume and not curriculum vitae. So this is part biodata, resume, and curriculum vitae. These are similar but not exactly same. So biodata is just giving your personal details only. In a resume, you are mentioning your contact details, personal details, educational details, your skills, and let's say trainings, activities, accomplishments, etc. And in curriculum vitae, you are going to add a lot of activities, number of posts that you people have held. When you are getting maximum experience, let's say 15 plus years experience, when you people get, so that time you people can have your own CV. Okay. So curriculum vitae provides an overview of a person's experience and other qualifications, and that is for longer period of time. Okay. It is typically used to screen applicants, often followed by an interview. Okay. So when you just present your CV, so that time then there is an interview. In case of resume also, when you people are just submit your resume, that time you people will be followed by an interview. An outline of a person's educational and professional history is mentioned in that CV. A CV is the most flexible and convenient way to make applications. Try to understand that CV is different, but right now you people cannot mention that you have CV, yours will have resume. It is an application form that is designed to bring out the essential information and personal qualities that the employer requires. So that is about CV. Then let's try to understand again, looking for a highly challenging and dynamic work environment where I can transform my knowledge to valuable work experience and which can refine my research, managerial, and learning skills. So this is a kind of example you people can put in your resume as a career objective. Okay, so that should be in short, in one or two sentences you are going to mention ki why should you want to get the job, ka job tumhala करायचंय. That's a objective. In short, you people can mention like this, and it can be like this: looking for a highly challenging and dynamic work environment. So see the words that people are going to use in your career objective, where I can transform my knowledge to valuable work experience and which can refine my research, managerial, and learning skills. So this can be your career objective. There are different career objectives, but you can just define which suits to you and your personality. Then next it says to take a challenging position in an esteemed organization with devotion and determination so that it can enhance my skills and knowledge in the best interests of organization and for my personal and professional growth. Again, here also if people are mentioning, this is your career objective, why you want to work. And here is another example of career objective. It says to obtain a meaningful and challenging position in a healthy, friendly, and competitive atmosphere that enables me to learn and excel. Excel means to be successful. Believing that good team leadership and a hands-on approach to management brings increased standards of services. So this is a kind of principle that you believe in. Okay, this is a kind of, let's say, principle or thought that you believe in what? That good team leadership and hands-on approach. So what is hands-on approach? That all things you people can do practically, or you'll get chance to grow. To management brings increased standards of services. So these are some of the examples that you people can think, that you people can add in your career goals in your resume. So as I told you that first of all you are having your title resume. Below that you people are going to mention your name in bold letters in big format. Then you are going to have contact details, and then you are going to have this career objective. Okay, so you just try to make it clear that what career objective you are just making. Many of the times what happens that these are the career objectives which I have taken from internet. So many of the students also, you people can just think that many people take it from internet and they present as it is. But if you don't know what really it means, in that case you will be again in problem. If you mention this as your career objective and you don't know what does it mean, if they ask you what is your career objective, and if you are not able to explain this or you are not able to justify what is meant in these sentences, again it can be a negative impression. So try to understand first of all what does it mean, त्याचा अर्थ काय होतो हे समजून घ्यायला शिका. त्याचबरोबर if it is really suits to you, in that case you people just try to mention it and study it well. नक्की काय म्हटलेलं आहे या करिअर ऑब्जेक्टिव्ह मध्ये, दॅट पीपल ट्राय टू अंडरस्टँड अँड देन ओनली पुट. डोंट जस्ट कॉपी फ्रॉम इंटरनेट अँड पेस्ट इट इनटू your resume. Okay, so that was all about today. We are going to stop here today. We'll take attendance and we people are going to stop. Remaining part, we'll see that there are some tips to make your resumes better, and format we people will discuss in the next class. So we'll take attendance first of all. So all you people just see that attendance. I will just call out roll numbers. Roll number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 absent. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 absent. 14, 15, 16, 17 absent. 18, 19 absent. 20, 21, 22, 23 absent. 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29 absent, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34 absent, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42 absent, 43, 44, 45 absent, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50 absent, 51, 52, 53 absent, 54, 55 absent, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62 absent, 63, 64, 65 absent, 66, 67 absent, 68, 69, 70. 71 and 72 also absent. So once again, confirm absent numbers for today's class. If anybody is present, in that case, you just say that you are present. Roll number 8, 13, 19, 23, 29, 32, 33, 41, 42, 45, 49, 50, 52, 53, 55, 59, 60, 61, 62, 65, 67, 71, 72. Anybody is present out of these absent numbers? Okay, no one is there. So should I end this meeting from my side?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.